This is lesson 7 on opener and responder rebids after partner opens one heart or one spade. Just to review, one heart and one spade opening bids promise 12 to 21 high card points and a 5-card major or longer. These opening bids are further divided into 12 to 15 point minimum opener, 16 to 18 medium opener, and 19 to 21 point maximum opener. Responder hands all show 6 or more points, but we further divide them into 6 to 9 or a bad 10 minimum responder hand, 10 to 12 medium responder hands, and 12 or more maximum responder hands. These rebids, i.e. our second bids, is how we show partner which category our hand is in. Here are opener and responder point ranges. We need to know which point ranges work together to make a game-going contract. A minimum opener paired with a maximum responder always equals game. It works the other way too. A maximum opener paired with a minimum responder always equals game also. Two medium hands paired together equals game. Finally, there's one other possibility. A medium opener paired with a minimum responder who is on top of her 6 to 9 point range equals game. Lastly, let me mention that if we have a maximum opener and a maximum responder and they happen to be paired together, that usually ends in slam. Let's discuss rebids after responder makes an invitational response. There are 3 invitational responses. We can raise partner to 2 hearts. We can jump raise partner to 3 hearts, or responder can bid 1 no trump. In the first 2 responses, we found our 8-card fit. So now our only job is to decide how high to bid. If opener has a minimum 12 to 15 point hand, game is not possible, so she will pass. It looks like this. I open a heart with a minimum hand, you raise me to 2, and with my minimum 12 to 15, I pass. But if opener has a medium 16 to 18 point hand, game may be possible. So I'll open a heart, you raise to 2, I rebid 3 hearts. This asks you to take your minimum responder hand, divide it into a bottom half and a top half. If you're in the top half with 8 to 9 points, you go ahead and bid 4 hearts yourself. If you're in the lower half, 6 to 7 points, you will pass my 3 hearts and we play 3 hearts. Finally, if opener has a maximum 19 to 21 point hand, she's going to bid 4 hearts or 4 spades herself. It will look like I open a heart, you bid 2, I raise to 4, pass, pass, pass. Now let's talk about the second invitational response, where responder jump raises to 3 hearts or 3 spades, as shown here. Opener knows responder has a 10 to 11 or a bad 12 point hand. It would be easy to say pass with a minimum 12 to 15 hand and bid game with a medium 16 to 18 hand, but that is not completely accurate. If opener is on top of her 15 becomes game going because any jump raise by responder shows at least 10, and that's 25 together. So let's rewrite this to We will pass with a 12 to 14 point hand, and we will go to game with any 15-point hand or more. And now, the last invitational response. When partner responds one no trump, showing 6 to 9 points, can't raise our major, and can't bid the other major if it's spades. One heart or one spade opening bid promises 5 length, but it may be longer, like 6 cards or even 7. If it is longer than 5, opener can rebid 2 hearts to show that extra length and the minimum responder hand. Responder will always pass here because even on top with 9, that's only 24 combined, not enough points for game. If opener has a medium 16 to 18 point hand with hearts longer than 5, she can rebid 3 hearts. It will look like 1 heart, 1 no trump, 3 hearts. That will tell responder that she's got 6 or more hearts and a medium 16 to 18 hand. Now what responder will do is the same thing we did before. She will divide her 6 to 9 point range into a bottom half and a top half. If she happens to have 2 hearts to go with our 6, that's an 8-card fit. If she has an 8-card fit and is on top of her point range, she will go to 4 hearts herself. If she's on the bottom of her point range, she will pass and we will play 3 hearts. And of course, if opener is on a maximum 19 to 21 hand, any bid by responder equals a game going contract somewhere. But be careful, partner's one no trump didn't promise 2 heart length. In fact, partner might have a heart void. So if you're going to jump all the way to 4 hearts yourself, you better have longer than 6, probably 7, possibly even 8 to go to game on your own. Let's bid some hands. Responder is on top, opener is on bottom. What does South open? I'll wait 10 seconds before answering. If you still need more time, pause the video. South has a 19-point hand and opens 1 spade, despite the fact that the spades are ugly. What will North respond? North has a 6-point hand, a bare minimum responder hand, but she has 3-card spade support, so she will raise to 2 spades. South's rebid. South has a maximum hand, 19 to 21. No matter how you look at it, she's going to rebid 4 spades. Now let's do example number 2. Same drill. What will South open? South has a 16-point hand, 4 aces, and 1 length, making 17. She will open 1 spade. How about North's response? North has a 13 high card point hand. That makes her game going. She also has spade support, so we're ultimately going to end up in 4 spades. But the correct way to get there is to bid a new suit first, which is going to be 2 diamonds because a 2 heart response would promise 5 lengths, so diamonds is her only biddable suit. After North bids 2 diamonds forcing, South will have to come back and bid again. She has a biddable heart suit, so it will go one spade, two diamonds, two hearts. After that, responder will jump all the way to four spades. That's the correct way to bid this hand. Let's bid example 3 now. South, what do you open? South still has that 16-point hand with one length for 17 and will open one spade. North, you have a new responder hand. What will you bid? With 8 high card points and 4 card spade support, we will respond 2 spades. Back to South. What is your bid going to be? Your rebid. South, with a medium 16 to 18 point hand, will rebid 3 spades. North, how about your rebid? South's 3 spade bid said she's a medium hand of 16 to 18, and she's asking me with my minimum responder hand to divide it between the bottom half and top half. If I'm on the top half of my bid, go to game, and we can see that with 8 high card points, I am on the top half of my bid, so I will rebid 4 spades. 4 spades is what we will play. Okay, back to our lesson material now. Some responses are forcing, and some responses are non-forcing. Why do you think the forcing responses require opener to bid again? The answer is in the type of hand that you have. If responder has an invitational hand, she shows a limited point range. Example, 1 heart to 2 hearts shows 6 to 9. Responder is limited to 6 to 9 or a bad 10 points. A jump raise from 1 heart to 3 hearts also shows a limited point range from 10 to a bad 12. In other words, we know the bottom and the top of responder's point range. Knowing that, opener can bid on if she chooses to, but she's not forced to because the bids were not forcing. Forcing responses show an unlimited point range. Any responder response is going to show 6 points or more, but they can be up to as high as 28 high card points. Can you imagine me opening and you have a 28-point hand? How would we get that 28 points? Why 28? There's 40 points in the deck. Assume I open a minimum 12-point hand. There's 28 points left. You could conceivably have all 28 of those points. And that's why your forcing response, which is 9 times out of 10 going to be a new suit bid by you, the responder, that's what makes them forcing. Not written here, but still important to know is this. New suits by an unpassed hand are forcing. Unpassed means that it is their first turn to bid. They have not previously passed. If they have passed already, that means they couldn't open, so they have less than 12 high card points. Their upper limit is established and limited at less than 12 points. A new suit now by a passed hand is not forcing. So now let's introduce all the forcing responses where opener has to bid again. And after a one-level suit opening, the only forcing responses are to bid a new suit as an unpassed hand. There are 4 different scenarios shown on this page. In the upper left-hand corner, I'm going to open a heart. you're going to respond one spade, and I'm going to come back and rebid my hearts at the 2, 3, or 4 level based upon my point range. In the upper right hand corner, I'm still going to open a heart, and you're going to respond one spade, same as over here, but instead I'm going to raise your spades to 2, 3, or 4 based upon my point range. In the lower left hand corner is scenario number 3, where I'm going to open a heart, you're going to bid a new suit at the 2 level, and I'm going to raise that suit. And finally, I'm going to open a spade, that's scenario 4. You're going to bid 2 hearts, which requires 5 length, and then I'm going to be raising your hearts. Now, there's way too much information on this slide to try to cover it all right now, so we're going to break it down. Each one of these scenarios is going to get its own slide. So let's talk about the first scenario, where I open 1 heart and you bet a new suit, 1 spade, which promises 6 or more points and 4 card length or longer. That describes your suit. If I don't have 4 spades, but I have long hearts, I can go back and rebid my hearts. If I have 6 length or longer and a minimum 12 to 15 hand, I will rebid 2 hearts. So the bidding will look like 1 heart open, 1 spade response, 2 heart rebid by me. Okay? If you happen to have a maximum responder hand of 13 or more points, and you have 2 hearts with me, that gives us an 8 card fit, you will jump all the way to 4 hearts. If you don't have that, you will pass and we will play 2 hearts. So now let's talk about the situation where I open 1 heart, you bid 1 spade, and I have a medium 16 to 18 hand with 6 hearts or longer length. I can now jump to 3 hearts on my rebid. 1 heart, 1 spade, 3 hearts. That jump will tell you I have a medium 16 to 18 hand. What do you need to go to game? Well, over my 16, you need about 10 points. Okay, so if you've got 10 points and 2 hearts, we found our 8 card fit and we have enough points to game. So with this right here, you would go to 4 hearts yourself. Otherwise pass and we will play 3 hearts. Now let's talk about the last scenario, where I have a maximum opener's hand of 19 to 21. I open a heart, you say 1 spade. I can't raise your spades, but I've got long hearts. Remember we talked about needing 7 a while ago? I will go ahead and go to 4 hearts all on my own. Okay, let's talk about forcing response scenario number 2 out of 4. I open 1 heart, you respond 1 spade. That says you can't raise my heart, so you bid 1 spade, which promises 6 or more points and 4 card length. If I happen to have 4 spades also, we have found our 8 card fit. So the way I show you that is, if I have a minimum 12 to 15 opener hand and 4 spades, I raise you to 2, from 1 spade to 2. Okay? Since I am showing you a minimum opener's hand, if you have a maximum responder's hand of 13 or more, then you will jump all the way to 4 spades yourself. The bidding would go 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 spades, 4 spades. If I happen to have a medium hand of 16 to 18 points and 4 spades with you, I will jump raise your bid to 3 spades. It will look like this: 1 heart, 1 spade, 3 spades. Now you only need 10 points for us to go to game. So if you have them, you will bid 4 spades. If not, you will pass and we will play 3 spades. So now let's look at the last scenario. I have 4 spades but I also have a maximum hand of 19 to 21. If I have that, I won't care if your one spade bid is only 6 points, because with my 19, I know we have 25 together. So I will go ahead and bid 4 spades myself. Remember, we talked about the fact that if I have a maximum opener's hand and you have a maximum responder's hand, my 19 plus your 13 is equal to 32. That's 1 point away from slam. If those two conditions exist, maximum opener, maximum responder, we're probably going to be looking at bidding slam. So now let's look at forcing response scenario number 3. I open one heart and you bid a new suit at the 2 level. It could be 2 clubs or 2 diamonds. Anytime you bid a new suit at the 2 level, it promises 10 or more high card points and 4 card length. Okay. It also denies that you had 4 spades, because if you had 4 spades, you would respond 1 spade instead of 2 clubs or 2 diamonds. Your new suit bid is forcing, so I have to bid something. I cannot pass. If I can't rebid my hearts because I have 6, but I do have 4 clubs with you, we found our 8 card fit. So with a minimum 12 to 15 hand, I will raise your clubs to the 3 level. If I, the opener, happen to have a medium 16 to 18 point hand, I know that your 2 level new suit promises at least 10. So even if I'm on bottom with 16, I know we have 26 points together. That's enough for game. I'm not going to be looking to raise your clubs higher. What I'm probably going to be trying to do is to go to 3 no trump. Of course, for that to happen, I'm going to need to have a stopper in the unbid suits, which in this case would be spades and diamonds. So now let's talk about forcing responses, scenario number 4. And this slide is all about me opening 1 spade and you responding 2 hearts, which promises 5 length and 10 or more points. Any new suit at the 2 level promises 10 or more points, but over 1 spade, a 2 heart response specifically promises 5 length or more. If you bid 2 hearts, I only need 3 cards support to raise you, and with a minimum hand, I will raise you to 3 hearts. But like we saw before, I know that your 2 heart bid promises 10. So if I'm on top of my 12 to 15, I will go ahead and go to game myself. So I will only go to 3 hearts if I'm on 12 to 14, not 12 to 15. So now let's talk about another alternative. I open 1 spade, you bid 2 hearts. I don't have 3 card support, but I have long spades, so I can rebid 2 spades, 3 spades, or 4 spades. We have seen this before. This was scenario 1 a while ago, so we're not going to talk about it anymore. This lower left corner right here is me opening a spade, you saying 2 hearts. I can't rebid my spades. I don't have 3 card heart support before you, but your bid is forcing, so I have to bid something again. I might have 4 clubs or 4 diamonds, and I will bid a new suit myself. Something I need to tell you, that anytime I bid a new suit after you make a 2 level response, it's absolutely forcing to game. You will have to bid again. We talked about all of this on the slide just before this one, so we're not going to talk about it anymore. Our final eventuality to talk about here is where I open a spade. You say two hearts. I can't rebid my spades. I can't raise your hearts. I don't have another suit I can bid. If that's the case, I'm going to be balanced. Okay, my two no trump bid will say I have a minimum 12 to 15 hand. My three no trump bid will say I have a medium 16 to 18 hand. How do I know we have enough points to be in game? My medium hand says I have 16 to 18, and your bid said you had 10 or more. So my 16 and your 10, that's 26. I know we can be in three no trump. Okay, time for some practice hands. Let's do example number 4. Here's opener's hand. Count up the points. Tell me the opening bid. This is a 14-point hand. 10 here, 4 here is 14, plus 2 length points makes it a 16-point hand. This is a medium 16 to 18-point opener's hand that will open 1 heart. Time to bid as responder. 7, 9 high card points, a 6 to 9 minimum responder hand. I have to bid. I can't raise your hearts, but I have a 4-card spade suit, so I will respond 1 spade. Forcing back to opener for your second bid. With my medium 16 to 18 opener's hand and 6 length hearts, I will jump, rebid my own suit 3 hearts. Your turn. My 3 heart bid asks you to look at your hand and tell me if you're on top or bottom of your 6 to 9 point range. You are on top with 9 high card points. That's 8 to 9. And you have 2 hearts with me, so you know we have an 8 card fit. So your rebid is going to be 4 hearts. Here's example number 5. You know the drill. South, count up your points. Tell me your opening bid. South has a 16 high card point plus 3 length points for a 19-point maximum opener hand who opens 1 heart. North, your first response. North has a 13 high card point game going hand, does not have the ability to raise hearts, but does have a 4-card spade suit, so she will respond 1 spade. South, back to you. With 19 points, a maximum opener's hand, and 7 length in hearts, I will jump all the way to 4 hearts myself. North, will you take another bid? Yes, I will definitely take another bid. Your 4 heart bid showed a maximum opener hand of 19, and I have 13. That means a maximum opener facing a maximum responder probably needs to be slam somewhere. The way that I will do that is I know that you have got long hearts and I've got 2, so I know we have an 8-card fit. So what I'm going to do is invite slam by bidding not 4 hearts, but 5 hearts. And that invitation is going to do the same thing that it would have done in no trump. It's going to ask you to look at your hand and see if you are on the bottom or the top of your point range and to bid accordingly. South, what are you going to do with this hand? I'm going to go ahead and go to 6 because I have some distributional values right here. Let's count our losers in this hand, in this 6-heart hand. In spades, I have ace, king, queen, so declarer has no losers. Let's look at hearts. I have 7, you have 2. That's a 9-card fit. The opponents have 4 hearts. They will split 3-1 52% of the time, and they will split 2-2 48% of the time. If they split 2-2, our ace and king are going to pick them all up, and we will take no heart losers. Now let's look at diamonds. I have a singleton ace here. I have no losers. We don't worry about the losers in dummy. We only worry about the losers in declarer's hand. And let's look at clubs. I have 2 club losers, but they're taken care of by the ace king in dummy up here. So look at this. I actually have 0 losers. We can make all 13 tricks if the hearts split 2-2. If they split 3-1, we're going to lose 1 heart to the queen, and we will make our 6-heart contract. This was a good slam to bid. Here's example number 6. We know the drill. South, what's your opening bid going to be? South has 12 high card points plus 1 length point, and a 5-card heart suit will open 1 heart. North, your first response. With 13 high card points, that's a game going hand. I know we're going to game somewhere. I can't raise hearts, but I do have 4 spades, so I will bid 1 spade. South, back to you for your first rebid. I have a minimum opener's hand, but I do have 4 spade support for your hand because I am going to be the dummy. I can also count 2 points here for distribution points. But our guidance says if you're going to count distribution points, you don't count length points. So this is still a 14-point hand. I will raise your 1 spade to 2 spades. North, back to you for your second rebid. I have a game going hand. I will go from 2 spades all the way to 4 spades, and that's what we'll play. Let's talk a little bit more about opener rebidding a new suit. After I open a heart and you bid a spade, if I can't rebid my hearts or raise your spades, it's still forcing, so I bid a new suit. If my new suit is lower ranking than my first suit, so in this case clubs or diamonds, either one are lower ranking than hearts, you are not forced to bid again if you have a minimum 6 to 9 point hand. This is called taking a preference. If you like my hearts better, you would rebid 2 hearts. If you like my minor better, you would pass, and we would play 2 clubs or 2 diamonds. This is what taking a preference is all about. Now, if as responder you don't have that 6 to 9 minimum hand, but instead you have a medium 10 to 11 or a maximum game going 13, you can raise my minor here, or you can bid game yourself. If you bid game yourself, it might very well be 3 no trump. In the last hand, we talked about opener rebidding a new suit, and if it was lower ranking than the first suit, it wasn't forcing. But what if opener now rebids a suit that's higher ranking than her first one? And an example here would be I open a heart, you say two clubs, and I rebid spades, which is higher ranking than hearts. If that happens, this is called a reverse. It promises a medium opener hand, in other words, 16 to 18 points or more, and it is forcing for one round. You will not be able to pass right here. We identify the reverse because the second suit is higher ranking than the first suit. Typically, the second suit will be a major. Sometimes we rebid a new suit and we jump a level at the same time. We saw this scenario a while ago. I open a heart, you say a spade, and I rebid two clubs because my new suit was lower ranking than my first one. It wasn't forcing. But if I have a maximum 19 to 21 opener's hand, I won't rebid two clubs because you could pass that. I will jump a level to three clubs, and that's what tells you this is called a jump shift. I jumped and I shifted to a new suit. It always promises a maximum opener 19 to 21 point hand, and it is absolutely forcing to game or higher. Why is it forcing to game? I'm showing 19 to 21 and your one spade bid showed at least 6. We haven't found where we're going to be yet, so it is forcing to game or higher. Now, here's something that you need to know. Jump shifts typically are into a minor, where reverses are typically into a major. We can see here that this is a minor that we're jumping into, where the reverse was into a major. Maybe a couple of examples will help explain these two concepts a little bit better. Let's do example 7. Opener. What's going to be your opening bid? $17 high card points plus 1 length point, 18. I'm at the top of a medium opener's hand. I will open 1 heart. North, what's your first response going to be? North with 15 points high cards and 1 point for length, give me a 16 hand, definitely game going. I'm going to respond to clubs. I can't raise hearts and I can't bid spades, so I will bid 2 clubs. South, back to your hand. Remember we said a while ago we were at the top of our 16 to 18 point hand. I can't raise your clubs, but I can bid a new suit spades, which will be 2 spades, 1 heart, 2 clubs, 2 spades. My second suit is higher ranking than my first suit. I have just bid a reverse, and you have to bid at least one more time. So North, what are you going to bid for your second bid? Remember, North has a game-going hand of 16 points. She also knows that South's reversed promised a 16 to 18 hand, so her 16 plus my 16 is at least 32. She could bid 3 no trump. She doesn't like my spades. She could bid 3 no trump, but because we're 16 and 16, 32, I'm going to say she is going to invite 6 no trump by jumping 1 level above game 4 no trump, asking me to decide, are you on bottom or top of your 16 to 18? If you are, go to 6 no trump. I am on top of my 16 to 18 with 18 points, so I'm going to go all the way to 6 no trump. And now let's count our winners and see if we can even be close to making 6 no trump. I see 4 spades. We're missing the ace of hearts, so that's one loser. I have 2 winners in diamonds, that makes 6. I have 5 winners in clubs, that makes 11. I'm going to get one of these. The ace can only take one of them, so the other one's going to be a winner. That's my 12th trick. We are going to make 6 no trump. Okay, one more example. Number 8. South, what's your opening bid going to be? South has 19 high card points plus 1 length point for 20. She's in the 19 to 21 point maximum opener's hand. She will open 1 heart. North, your turn to bid. North, with 6 high card points, has enough points to bid. Can't raise hearts, but does have 4 spades, so she will respond 1 spade. South, back to you. South can't raise spades, but she has the 19 to 21 point maximum opener's hand, and another minor clubs right here won't rebid 2 clubs, will jump shift to 3 clubs, which is forcing to game. North, back to you. North doesn't like any of the suits that South has bid, hearts or clubs. Well, actually, she likes clubs, but we're not going to try to go to 5 clubs. But since she's got a queen protected by 2 small ones in the unbid suit, she's going to go to 3 no trump, and we'll see if we can play 3 no trump. Let's count our winners. 1 spade. Going to get at least 1 heart. That's 2. 3 here, and 4 clubs is 7. We need 2 more winners to make 3 no trump. I took this hand right here and put it into Bridge Baron. Let the computer choose the opponent's cards and play this hand out to see if we can make 3 no trump. It is included as hand number 5 in the video of the hands you played in class, so you can watch it on that video. I did make 3 no trump, by the way. Okay, here's the last slide in the lesson right now. We're fixing to play our hands in just a minute, but I have put a bunch of videos online for this lesson right here. This video right here is about the lesson, the hands played in class, year 4, plus that example number 8. Okay, I've given you 5 homework hands and made a video about all of them so you can watch them played if you don't get them right. And I have started a defense topic series, so you're going to get defense topics video number 1 that talks about 3 important topics about defense. I believe they are leading the top of an honor sequence for opening leads. It's about attitude signals, and also it's about not blocking a suit. So watch that video and start to learn things about how to play defense. That's the end of the video. Bye-bye.